Good everyone, welcome once again to kossydgreat channel. Today we are going to have a fantastic subject, and this subject is going to be mathematics. So we are going to have maths. Today I want to treat on a special topic, and the topic we are going to treat about is sine rule and the cosine rule. These are the two topics. These are the topic I'm going to handle you people today. Sometimes we are having some difficulties, or we cannot differentiate when we are going to be using these two rules. Now, let me first of all introduce it very well for you. We are going to have a triangle. In this triangle, I can call here the dimension here A, and here is what B, here is what C. The name of the triangle is given as what? A, B, C. Now, this side is the angle of this B. But from here to here is the distance covered by the angle of by this particular point. So I can call here small b. Now, here is the angle of what? A. But this is what the distance covered by what? This A. We call it what? Small a. This is what? An angle of what? C. But this is the distance of what? This C. We call it what? Small c. There are two things. We have capital letters representing angles, but small letters representing sides or lengths. Now, in this case, we have what? Capital B as an angle. This is what? Capital A, and this is what? Capital C. They are the angles we have. Now, if this angle of A is given, and the distance of what? This A is given, we say that what? The dimension of A is complete. Likewise, if the angle of B and its distance are given, the dimension of what? B is complete. Likewise, this one and this one given, we can say that what? The dimension is what? Complete. Now, with this definition or this dimension, we'll be able to use it to differentiate when we are using sine rule and when we are using cosine rule. Now, if I have a triangle something like this, and I call here A, B, C, and this one is what? 2 meters. This one is what? 30 degrees. And this one is what? 3 meters. What can you see? In the side of A, the angle is not given, but the distance of it is given. In the side of what? B, the angle is given, the distance is what? Given. So therefore, the dimension of B is complete. The side of what? C, the angle is not given, and the distance is not given. You can see that the dimension is not what? Complete. In the three of what? The dimensions now, you can see that it is only B that is what? Complete. Whenever a triangle is given and one dimension of that triangle is what? Complete, maybe you need to find the other dimensions, other things like the angles and their distance, this one and this one, provided that what one dimension of that triangle is what complete, we apply what we call a sine rule formula. So sine rule formula is applied when one dimension of a triangle is what complete. Maybe you are asked to find the other dimensions. But if you look at cosine rule formula, in cosine rule formula, when you are given a triangle, you have A, you have B, you have C. This one is what, 2 meters, this is 3 meters, and here is what, 30. Looking at this, A has its angle but no distance. B has distance but no angle. C has no angle but there is a distance. So in this case, you can see no dimension of this triangle is what complete. But even the sides they gave to us, the angle is between the sides given to us in this triangle. The other distance which the angle is not given, so the other distance which the side is not what given. Are you following me? In this case now, we are now, order to find that particular what distance. Here that is not given is required to be found. So in that case, when no dimension is complete, but that distance we call distance apart is required to be found. This is the distance apart since the two other distances are given. When we are finding that what distance apart, such formula we are going to apply is called what? Cosine rule formula. Now in this case, the difference between sine rule and cosine rule is in sine rule formula, one dimension is what complete. In cosine rule formula, no dimension is what complete, but we are asked to find the distance what apart. Now, we are going to prove the formula. We are going to prove the formulas. But before proving the formulas, I want to give an example. Example is in a such a way that what this is x, y, z. But here is given as what 20 degrees. Here is what 3 meters. Here is what 4 meters. When this triangle is given to you, and they say you should find this distance, what formula are we going to apply? Is it sine rule formula or cosine rule formula? I guess this is cosine rule formula because no dimension is what complete. If I claim this place and have a triangle known as what? This is for A, this for B, this is what? M, N, Q. But in this case, this is what? 20 degrees, 3 meters, and 4 meters. You can see that the dimension of what Q is complete. So I guess what we are going to apply here is what? A sine rule formula. So the difference between sine rule formula and cosine rule formula is when you are given a triangle, you observe the triangle very well to know when to apply sine rule and when to apply what? Cosine rule formula. Now, let us now go into what we have today. I have this as a triangle, and I call here A, I call here B, and C. From here to here is given as small a, that's the distance of A. From here to here is our B. From here to here is given our C. Here is the angle of B. Here is what angle of what C, and here is what angle of what A. Suppose I cut this thing from here. When I cut this thing from here, we don't know this angle from here to here because automatically from here to here we don't know the angle. We call it theta. We don't know what it will be. And we don't know if we bisect it at the center because the bisection is not at the center. All I know is what from here to here is what we have indicated before we bisect this. Now, to get this from here to here, if here is what? X. What we are going to have from here to here is what? From here to here minus from here to here will give us the remaining side. So here is going to be a minus what? X. Now you can see in this triangle we have from here to here as x. So x, which is from here to here, plus a minus x. You can see s can cancel this one. We have what? From here to here, which is our a. Now in this case, what do we do? Bringing out this, let me call here a h. From here to here, h. Bringing out this thing, here is what? H. Here is c. And here is s. Here is what? Theta. But here is giving us what? B. A. Let me call here D. What can we have here? When we are looking at the three sides, we are going to apply Pythagoras rule. In Pythagoras rule, hypotenuse square is equal to what? Opposite square plus what? Adjacent square. And which one is what? Our hypotenuse square? We have c square, which is equal to opposite square is what? H square plus adjacent square is what? S square. Making h square the subject of the formula because it's a common side that is combining the two triangles to give us a full triangle. So you can see c square minus s square is equal to what? H square. Call this one equation 1 for me. In equation 2, let us look at the other side of the triangle. I have this. Here is our D. Here is H. A. C. Theta. Theta we have what? B. Here is what? A minus S. In this case, what do we have? Sorry. This is our D. In this case, we have what? Hypotenuse square is equal to opposite square plus what? Adjacent square. Our hypotenuse square is b square, which is equal to opposite is what? H square plus what? We have a minus sa square. So our b square minus a minus s square will give us what? H square. Let us call this one equation 2. Because of the height of this side is also the center and the height of this, I can say equate equation 1 and 2. Equating equation 1 and 2, it simply means b square minus a minus s square is equal to, what do we have in equation 1? In equation 1, we have c square minus s square, all equal to what? H square. So, because of that, b square minus a minus s square is equal to c square minus s square. Then b square minus, open up the bracket, we have a minus s, and another a minus what? S, which is equal to c square minus what? S square. B square minus, we have a multiply a minus s, and the minus s here multiply a minus s. You are trying to open up the bracket, so which will give us c square minus what? S square. Our b square into this time, this is what? A square, minus this time, this is what? As, minus this time, this is what? As, and this time, this is what? S square. Equal to what? C square minus S square. So we have b square minus, when you open up with this minus, we have a square plus as minus s square is equal to c square minus s square. We have b square into minus a square. This and this, as plus as will give us what? 2as minus s square is equal to c square minus s square. When this one crosses the sign of equality, we are going to have minus s square here plus s square. This can cancel this. So that simply means that this can cancel this. What is remaining there is what? B square minus a square plus what? 2as is equal to what? C square. Now looking at this equation, let me call this one equation what? 3. Looking at this equation, you can either know from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, as the sides of A, B, and C. In this case, we don't actually know from here to here. Remember, I said that we did not divide this thing into 2 equal parts. It's just a little distance, it shifts a small distance. In this case, looking at this thing now, if I bring out that triangle, which I have what? B here, and I have what? Theta here. What is here is C, and what is here is what? X. What can I do? For we to define cosine rule, cos of the angle, cos of what? Theta is equal to, cos of this angle is equal to adjacent over what? Hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse. And this is what? Our adjacent. This is what? Our hypotenuse. Here is our opposite. So which means our adjacent is what? LC over our hypotenuse is what? C. Now, in this case, what can we have? We are going to have that cos of, remember, we said we use capital letters to represent angles. Because here is theta, 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 so we want to differentiate the thetas. So in this case now, this angle is what angle we call what? Capital letter B, which is equal to LC over what? C. This 1 over 1, can we cross multiply? Yes. This implies that LC is equal to C cos of what? B. I go back to equation 3. From equation 3, let me call this one equation 4. From equation 3, substitute equation 4. What do we do? We have cos of what? B. Sorry. From equation 3, substitute, which means we have b square minus a square plus 2a s equal to c square as equation 3. Let us substitute. Substitute equation 4 into this equation. B square minus a square plus 2a. What is our s? Our s is equal to c cos of what? B is equal to c square. Now, because we have angle of what? B, let us make b the subject of the formula. Making the b the subject of the formula, we have b square is equal to c square. When this crossover, we have plus a square minus 2ac cos of what? B. Therefore, 1 plus 2 is the same as 2 plus 1. The answer is what? 3 and 3. Because of commutative law, I can say that b square is equal to, according to alphabetical order, a square plus c square minus 2ac cos of what? B. This is what the formula of cosine formula of what? Distance apart of what? B. Now, In this case, let us watch this formula. We have proved that what b square is equal to a square plus c square minus 2ac cos of what? B. What if the distance apart is what? A. Now look at this formula. We don't need to cram. This is distance apart of B. And we are given A and C. So you can see A square plus C square, the two distances they give to you, minus 2 times those distances, but don't square them, cos of the angle of what? B. Because of the distance apart is what? B. The angle should be at where? B. Then if I have A square as the distance apart, I am going to have B square plus C square will be given to me. Minus 2 will multiply BC. We have cos of what? A. Suppose the distance apart is what? C square. We are going to have A square plus what? B square. These two will be given to me. Minus 2 will be multiplying what? AB. We have cos of what? C. Now, these are the cosine formulas. We call it what? Cosine rule formulas of what? A, B, and what? C. Now, let us look at something. I have a triangle. In a triangle, we have A, B, and what? C. And here is what? 30 degrees. Here is what? 4 meter and 3 meter. Can you find here? Yes. What formula are you going to apply? We are going to apply what? Cosine rule formula. Which one are we looking for? The distance apart of what? B. Because we are looking for the size of what? B. So what formula are we going to use in this case? We are going to use B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared, because we are given A and C. Minus 2 will multiply AC cos of what? B. So your B squared is equal to, what is your A? Your A is what? 3 squared plus, what is your C? 4 squared, because of this square, 4 squared, minus 2 times, what is your A? Your A is what? 3 times, what is your C? Your C is what? 4. Because of what is the angle of B? The angle of B is what? 30 degrees. So our B square is equal to 9. 3 square is what? 9. 4 square is what? 16. Minus 2 times 3 is 6. Times 4 is 24 cos of what? 30. So our B square is equal to, we are going to have this plus this is what? 25 minus, we have, I'm coming, $25, 9 plus 16 is 25, minus 24 times, what is cos 30? Cos 30 is 0.8660. So in this case, B square is equal to 25 minus 24 times this will give us what? 20.7846. Now, our B square is equal to 25 minus 20.7846 will give us 4.29 2154. So can we get our b from here? Our b becomes square root of 4.2154. So our b is equal to the square root of this answer is what? 2.05. Approximately, I can have 2 meters. So in this case, our b is what? 2 meters. Now, having seen that what your b is what? 2 meters, you can see the dimension of b now is complete, because I can say the dimension of what? B is what? Complete, because of what? B equal to what? 30 degrees, and small b equal to what? 2 meters. Now, since the dimension is now complete, then to find other dimensions like this and this, we are going to use sine rule formula. Remember, we said we use sine rule formula when one dimension is what? Found to be complete. So we are going to talk about sine rule formula in our next video. Thank you for watching us, and God bless you. We are going to do a lot of calculations on this. Thank you, and God bless you.